Okay, yes, we're gonna start now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last of these group webinars. My name is Maria Clement from Ateval, and with Josep Casamada from AI Textiles, we are going to talk about exploring funding opportunities for SMEs in research, innovation, technology transfer, and international expansion, starting with in-transit project and then following with some interesting European projects. As you know, you can see here the agenda of today's webinar. Okay, and as you know, in-transit project aims to strengthen the resilience of textile, aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and construction SMEs towards greener and more digital sectors with a mixed support mechanism that includes individual assessment support and a lump sum and coaching to ensure their consolidation and sustainability. In this project, you can see there are 4 support mechanisms. The very first one is Incubate, and it's about joint services for incubating cross-sectoral innovation and it focuses on supporting SMEs in identifying market opportunities, needs, pain points, and connecting the different sectors, favoring cross-sectoral learning, best practices exchange, and collaborative development. It also offers SMEs numerous opportunities as learning expeditions, workshops, matchmaking and networking events, travel vouchers. Right now, we already organized 4 workshops, 1 matchmaking event, and there are 2 learning expeditions that are going to be held in early 2024. Then Innovate focuses on customized advisory services, including assisted self-assessment and circular and digital diagnostic, with 40 hours of coaching and training at a strategic level, with programs composed of workshops and one-to-one consultancy from the partners, I mean the clusters. And the first call of this Innovate was launched from May to July of 2023, and there were 68 proposals received, of which 50 were accepted. Moreover, Develop is focused on financial support for third parties and more specifically on support of development projects, including 50 hours of coaching services for developing innovative and sustainable business models. And it will have 2 open calls. The very first one will be launched in January 2024, and I will talk about it later for everyone who is interested. And then the total number of SMEs to be benefited by the both of developed calls is it's estimated to be 60, and the total financial support per SME is estimated up to 49,000 euros. Then the last support mechanism is Scale Up, that it aims to bring solutions on the market and offers additional customized services for the new business models. It is focused on offering customized service to the beneficiaries of the developed tool. So if you want to get this, to participate in this mechanism, to use this mechanism, you have to be a winner of the develop call. As mentioned before, the second and info date of the in-transit project will take place in Graz, Austria, in May of 2024. And then there are also several learning expeditions planned for the next year. The first one will take place in Ljubljana, Slovenia, on January 18th and 19th, and it's followed by the expedition to Seville a month later on the 22nd and 23rd of February. Another learning explanation is planned for November 2024 in Athens, Greece, and the last learning expedition will take place in Barcelona. Here's some information about the first call of develop, as I said before. So the very first thing and most important is the launch call for proposals. It will open on 10th of January of 2024 at 10 a.m. Central European Time. And the deadline is the 13th of March of 2024 at 5 p.m. Central European Time. So you have from January till March to send your proposals. And then the submission it will be on the online platform through the website, through in Transit website. Then the evaluation period and the ethics review will be on March 2024. We will have the ranking on April with the results announcement, and then we will notify all the SMEs about these results. And then the agreement signature date will be on May 2024. And the expected starting date for the projects, for the Venice VCR projects, will be on June 2024.
And now I will continue with the explanation of different projects that have cascade funding similar to in transit. And I will start with Crossbill EU project, which is a cross-sectoral Eurocluster involving different sectors similar to in transit. It includes textile, advanced manufacturing, and construction sector. So 3 out of the 4 main sectors covered in transit. So it's could be really relevant for you in case you have interest. In the second call for proposals, we will launch 3 grants, mainly Innovate, Green and Digital, and Global grants. We are going to go over the main details on each of them. Roughly, we'll have the Crossbill EU second call will have a budget of €500,000, tentatively. So there will be a lot of opportunities for projects to continue. And this call is going to be opening on the second quarter of 2024. So next year, the first call is on, the projects are ongoing. So we have launched a call early 2023 with several projects ongoing on the different 3 instruments. And now if we go to the next slide, we are going to detail each one of these individually. So there is one call focusing on internationalization, which is called Global Grant, and it's targeting the Middle East. So opportunities in the Middle East for internationalization, for facilitating access to these third markets, to have market study, to identify potentially business partners, collaboration opportunities, focusing on the Middle East with a set of countries identified in the calls, like Bahrain, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. And for these projects, companies will get a lump sum of €25,000, and in total, we expect 12 SMEs benefiting. We had 6 on the first call, so we expect another 6 in the second call, and this will be launching in Q2. The exact dates will be known later on, but you can stay tuned and follow Crossbill EU in the social media, so you will be able to track when the calls are opening. If we go to the next one, it's a second instrument from Crossbill EU, which it's going to be the Innovate Grant. The Innovate Grant, it's targeting innovation, so facilitating bringing to the market innovations that build resilient value chain around textile, construction, and advanced manufacturing. Like the other call, it's going to be open all 3 together on Q2 2024. In this case, the financial support is also a lump sum of 20,000 euros. There were 8 companies funded under the first call, so we have some more for the second call. So that's also going to be really interesting opportunity in this case. And basically, in this case, it's facilitating and acceleration the launching to market of the innovation. So you should have something innovative already done that you can need a small push out to test it into the market to fully deploy it and launch it. The next one, it's the green and digital grants. In this case, this is a consortium approach. So here you have to have a partnership of 2 SMEs. Both must be SMEs on provider and user, for instance, on green and digital solutions. The main idea is to facilitate the adoption of green and digital technologies to become more resilient. That means that some ideas for projects can be to test some technologies, to make a feasibility study, to make the first test. It's not to just buy technology, but to test and assess the deployment of large-scale solutions that, with a small pilot of 50,000 euros per project. And in here, we will also have several opportunities with total targeting 18 companies, so a total of 9 projects. We had 4 projects already granted. We will fund 5 more on the last on the second call of Crossville EU. That's also really interesting application, particularly when you have a cross-sector application to accelerate the green and digital transition, because both the textile and construction sectors are really dependent on the circularity with the new legislation that are upcoming. So this is really important to accelerate and support companies to become more resilient. And as a reminder, it's going to be a good Q2 2024. Then there are other Euroclusters that we have in transit several consortium partners that are members of, like AIC Eurocluster, which deploy different innovation grants, like innovation projects, technological option training. And now what they have open is the Go International grants with grants up to 2,000 euros per SME that they will be able to use to meet partners at trade fairs in their countries, particularly in Mexico, in Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and Kenya. You will see here different deadlines for each of the different trade fairs where you can apply for. So, for instance, upcoming deadlines of Saudi Arabia for Big 6 fair, it's end of this year on 30th of December. For Singapore in Digital Construction Asia is 30th of January, and then for Kenya, Real Africa, it's going to be on June 24th. So here you will be able to get up to 2,000 euros per SME to get reimbursed for the participation, and the implementation will depend on the dates of the trade fair, but basically it's a good opportunity to foster the internationalization and go meeting with international partners at significant trade fairs. If we go to the next one, we have also partners in transit that are launching the PMAP for sustainability, which is a photonics for international markets and applications for sustainability. It's focusing on SMEs that are working in photonics, advanced materials, advanced manufacturing, metalworking, aerospace, or industrial production. So basically covering many of the industrial sectors where you can get some services for training services with an open call that is now open for two kind of thematics. So for green transition, 5,000 euros, for internationalization, 10,000 euros. That basically you will be able to apply for some training, either consultants, so that you get some support, service support that you will select, and you will be able to claim up to 5 or 10,000 euros. And for particular information on this call, you have the there was an for the yesterday, but probably it's going to be recorded and shared. So in case you have interest on this one, you have the email in the presentation where you can have further detailed questions, plus the LinkedIn where you can find all the publications, all the information on these calls. Now, if we go to the next opportunity is the Jamestown. With Jamestown is another Eurocluster. So just for you, because you see a lot of Euroclusters. These are really nice opportunities because it's as very targeted, focusing on, in this case, on supporting European manufacturing companies in their green transition. So it's focusing on broad manufacturing and focusing mainly on the green transition. There are right now two funding opportunities open, which are the Train and Explore, which are going to be open until end of next year, with regular cutoff dates. So that is not just one call; it's basically several cutoffs. The cutoff number 3 is now open until the end of the year. Then the next one will be open for January and February. So here you can have, if you are a manufacturing technological solution provider SME, you can apply. For Explore call is open, is targeting the supporting of SMEs in business fairs and international events in targeted countries. So you will be able to see on the project website of Project Gemstone the specific targeted countries that you can apply, and you will be able to get up to 1,500 euros lump sum. So they are targeting up to 40 SMEs to be funded until December 2024. So if you access the Project Gemstone website, you will be able to see some particular trade fairs and international events that you can participate. And if you want to explore those events, you can just apply and you will get a lump sum of 1,500 euros, which is really nice. Then there is also the second call, which is open, which is the Train call, which is facilitating the connection between training providers and SMEs for skills related to green manufacturing, particularly if you have some particular needs on facilitating the green transition in your company. I would say strongly recommend you to look into this one, where you can get up to 2,000 euros lump sum. So for each cutoff, there will be eight companies selected, and in total there will be 45 companies. So you have now until the end of the year the cutoff number 3 open. So it's a good opportunity to apply. If not, you could wait for the next one. But as always, you should look what it's more interesting for you, so that you do not miss opportunities. So if we go to the next one, here what. Here you can see some strategic areas that are targeted for Gemstone on the two calls. So for instance, that specific trade fairs and events includes North America, Japan, ASEAN countries, plus any other EU destination. But the bonus points are going to be given to this prioritized and targeted areas. So if you have something that it's particularly interesting in this countries, that's going to be important. And then the purchasing of the training services, here you have some more detail on what you can purchase with those 2,000 euros voucher on technical knowledge to provide these green technologies, and also from the transversal skills and knowledge to focus and deepen the sustainable and resource efficient manufacturing. Now, the next, I'm going to go back to Maria to continue. You're muted, Maria.
Thank you, Josep. Well, I'm going to talk about the project SURE 5.0. Is a project funded by the European Commission under the Horizon Europe program, which aims to support SMEs from the civil transportation and electronics ecosystems to integrate in their manufacturing processes the industry principles in order to become more human-centric, sustainable, and resilient. This project acceleration program 2 aims to help SMEs to make production processes more sustainable, resilient, and human-centric, as I said before. And the support will be provided in 2 phases through the different tailored services and funding based on specific technological, business, and personal needs. Some of the benefits are individual roadmap for Industry 5.0 transition, support on social innovation and human centricity, equity with a free funding up to 50,000 euros, in phase 2, technological services for the uptake of advanced technologies for industry, investment readiness support, community of practice of alliance, advanced training program, and a catalog of complementary service providers, SMEs, that can apply anytime if the SME is qualified. So the application period is open from the 3rd of January to the 28th of February 2024, and then the evaluation and selection will last 4 weeks. And the very first phase of the program will be held from February to July of 2024. And then the second phase will start in March with the application period that will be closing July 2024, and followed by 6 weeks for the evaluation and selection process. And then the program will be held from May to April of 2024. So you are on time to apply to this project. How can you participate in this? You can apply for the project if you are an SMEs that requires support to transform your production process. And then if you are a service provider interested in the project, you can register in their catalog of complementary service provides anytime. And if you are any other stakeholders interested in the project, you can join their community of practice alliance anytime also. Here we have Euroclusters project. It aims to drive change and make European textile value chains more resilient, providing SMEs a set of tools to improve their innovation potential, technological uptake, skills, and internationalization. It's focused on the textile sector. And right now there is an upcoming internationalization activity that will be held in Australia. The call of the project will be open in May 2024, and Euroclusters will fund 15 individual SMEs with lump sums of 12,000 euros for each participant company. Then we have Eureka funding support. There are 2 projects here. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Innovate. Is funded by the European Union as part of the European partnerships on Innovate SMEs. And you can apply to Innovate for a grant of 60,000 euros to assess the viability of our research or commercial ambitions in international markets. The project encourages the SMEs to take their R&D projects to markets all over the world and choose a target region and country and find a local counterpart. So it's a great opportunity for expansion. And there's a new call for projects. Funding program will be open later in 2024, so stay tuned with this project. And also the other project, Eurostars, is the largest international funding program for SMEs wishing to collaborate on R&D projects that create innovative products, processes, or services for commercialization. The consortium of the SMEs must spotlight an innovative SME as the main project participant. It has to choose project partners from SMEs, universities, and research centers from any of the program's 37 participating countries. So there's a lot of choice. There are a lot of choices. And then organizations in non-participating countries can still join a Eurostar consortium. There is an open call for projects that will be open on January 12th, until March 14th. So you have time to apply. Well, then we have to call about the funding and tender portal, about the cascade funding calls. Here in the funding and tender portal, we can find all the projects that we explained today and more, along with information and links on the European funding and tendering portal. And there you only have to click on the search for funding and tender and filter the search by choosing cascade funding calls in the section type of grant calls. I'm going to show you. It's really, really easy. Okay, I'm going to stop. So you can look for. Okay, can you see my screen? I hope so.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I just look for funding on tender portal and you click here. It opens, okay. So just go to search funding on tenders. It's really easy, search fund, click on search funding on tenders, and there right here on the left side of the page, you have here type of grant calls, and you just select cascade funding for calls. And right now there are 72 items. For example, here we just talk about the Sure 5.0 program. So you have here all the information about the program, the project website. It's super easy. So you can see everything quickly. And if you don't know where to go, because there are so many websites or anything, you can always go here and look for the project that you're interested the most, and you can get all the information from here. Okay, so to finish today, if you want to know all the updates and news, you can follow our social media and register in the community platform, and you can ask us whenever you want. And thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions.
Hi, Maria. There is one question from Konstantinos. He asks, isn't it true that SMEs should consult with the national contact point whether there are funds for Eureka?
Yes, I can answer this question. So yes, Eureka is just the seal. So once a project is certified under Eureka, you have to apply for national funding. But then so it's advisable so that you don't do overwork. So first consult with national contact point that you have a budget available in your country, because each country has different conditions for funding. So it's always better to contact the national contact point in this case.
Thanks, Joseph.
And I do not see any more questions on the chat.
Yes. Can I ask a question, or should I write it in the chat?
Well, you can ask it.
Go ahead.
Okay, we are one of the selected SMEs for the CrossBuild project, the first call. And my question is, can we apply also for another call of the same program or not?
So for CrossBuild EU, you can apply for another instrument in CrossBuild EU. You won't be able to apply for the same one that you have been granted on the first call. That's just something that we will, that's most likely going to have the second call as a limitation. So in your case, you won't be able to apply to the same financial instrument. You will be able to apply to other two.
To a different one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
With
you.
the limit of cumulative limit of 60K on the maximum funding that you can receive from CrossBuild EU.
Okay, thank you.
That's a common limit for all the Euroclusters. So there is a 60K limit in Euroclusters that companies can receive. In transit, this limit, cumulative limit is 50,000 euros. So that's why it's 49,000 euros for the develop plus 1K in case you participate in travel vouchers, for instance.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, any other questions?
Yeah, may I ask? Hi, everyone. I was just wondering if there are any open calls that are specific or focused on construction technology.
Well, there is the EAC Eurocluster, which is focusing solely on construction technologies and construction. In CrossBuild EU program, there is focus on cross-sectorality, where construction is one of the targeted sectors. And then in develop call for in transit, you will have also opportunities for construction sector as well to apply.
Because AC Euroclusters, there is no open calls at the moment for funding, right?
There are, but only for going international, not for research activities.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I see that there are some questions on specifics for topics. I would strongly suggest you to check the participant portal where you can also search, besides navigating all the open calls, you can use the search function for searching specific topics using detailed keywords. That's going to help you to find specific topics that could be either in Cascade funding or also in Horizon Europe, for instance, because I see like ESG reporting, defense calls in the chat. You have one program, which is the European Defense funding program, where you have calls focusing specifically on defense, because defense usually it's excluded from a single market program, for instance, because of some Horizon calls due to ethics concerns. But there is a specific calls for this, dedicated on this. As well as the ESG reporting, there are also calls on Horizon and upcoming Cascade funding opportunities as well.
Yes, as I showed you before, it's really easy to get into the website and look for the new funding opportunities. So you can just search there for the sectors you want.
I have a question, if you allow me. Is there any, let's say, quantity of participations in different consortiums? For example, me at Bitrezus, we are creating cybersecurity systems. So maybe more than one SMEs, they would like to join our company in order to provide some efficient solution in different domains. Is there any, I don't know, limit or not? This is the question.
The number of companies that can apply in which call? Can you repeat the call that you are interested in?
For the I'm speaking about the development period. So let's say five different companies around Europe, they would like to cooperate with us, and they will provide, I don't know, they will apply together with us as a consortium. There is any limitation for one company to how many consortiums can be participate or not? This is the question.
In principle, I think it's 2 companies that can apply. If you are 5 companies, I would suggest that either you have 1 company that applies and you subcontract part of the others, because they are going to be.
I'm not speaking about 5 companies together.
Yeah.
5 different individual companies, they are either thing to participate to a specific, let's say, development with our company. So we are partners individually as a pairs, 5 different pairs. Do we have any limitation to participate in 5 calls or not?
You have a cumulative limitation on how much funding you can receive from Intransit.
Yes.
So it means that no matter how many calls we will participate, how many applications, we will get 49,000, right?
Yeah, that's a maximum you can get cumulatively.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
More questions? Well, I see some people ask if we will share the presentation. At the beginning of the chat, we said the presentation will be on the platform. So in the Intransit Community platform. So don't you worry, you will have access to it. If there are no more questions, we're going to finish here today. Thank you so much for attending, and Merry Christmas all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Best wishes.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Best wishes.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.